Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, brought to you by True Value Hardware, your superstore for salt, sand, the winter snow and ice melting products like Pelleto and Mag ice pellets and flakes. And of course, we've got snow blowers and de-icing in materials, whether it be scrapers or stuff to keep your windshield from freezing up. And windshield washer fluid is what I was trying to remember. Spreaders, the shovels, there's your Pelleto and your Mag ice pellets and flakes, and of course tons and tons and tons of rock salt at the lowest prices anywhere at the tri-state area. So head over to Omni at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 6317-561-125, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Amazing that this morning, with lows down in the low and mid-teens and a lot of single digits away from the warmer urban locations and coastal areas, that ones at least that didn't radiate, how quickly temperatures bounced up today with sunshine and high clouds, and we're seeing highs that have reached the low and even a few middle 40s in southern New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania and points south, while it's in the upper 30s to around 40 in points north, and we're at the highs of the day now. I don't think we're going to see temperatures really go up much further than this, and we're not going to go anywhere tonight, really. Probably in the 20s to around 30. Clouds are going to help keep temperatures up. There'll be some intermittent breaks of clear skies too, depending on where you're located, but we have an upper air disturbance. And this is also the warmer air that is coming eastward that is producing the cloud cover. And by the way, you can see there's energy coming into the Pacific Northwest and then riding down up into the northern plains, because we're beginning to set the table up for the first storm that's going to be developing off the southeast coast of the United States on Thursday night, Friday. And that sets the ball in motion for the second system that is going to be coming in over the weekend, and particularly Sunday night into Monday morning. Radar's a little busy up in parts of Maine and some echoes aloft in upstate New York and also around the Great Lakes. But other than that, we're really in pretty good shape here. There's a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity off the south coast and east coast of Florida, and also in parts of the Gulf of Mexico. And it's been like this up 2 days or so for the Pacific Northwest, where we've got rain coming inland at the coast, and we have snow further on to the west. So the surface map, at least the latest one from earlier today, see if the 8th, yeah, it's here. This is from 1 o'clock this afternoon. The core of the cold air is long gone. We've got southwest and west and southwest winds, so temperatures really get to bounce up. The air to the south, by the way, is cold, relatively speaking. You really have to head down into South Georgia and northern Florida to get into 60s for temperatures at after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's not the warmest air mass in the world, so the warm-up is going to be limited. Tomorrow, we should make it up into the 40s. I think low to mid 40s will be the story just about everywhere, and we'll have clouds and some sun. I think we're going to have more clouds later in the day, because we do have, and it's already setting up here across Lake Huron and points westward. This is a very cold high that is starting to build in south central Canada, and that is going to be bringing cold air into the eastern part of the United States later Friday and for the weekend. And the storm that develops off the Atlantic seaboard is going to be the mechanism to bring it on through. So I want to show you, we're going to show you, these are the GFS ensembles. And what they are is that you have the regular GFS, and then you have about a dozen and a half variations of it. And each one has a different parameter that's different. You kind of run them all together and you sort of see where they're all going. And with the first storm, it's fairly obvious here. You've got a low, those red numbers are where all the different ensembles are plotting the storm. And the black isobar is the average position of all of them. And you can see that the low is offshore and really intensifies as it heads towards Nova Scotia. And then we get cold air that gets pulled down by that big high we spoke of that's going to be building across southeastern Canada and the Great Lakes, and eventually settling into upstate New York. Now here comes the next one, and this is for Sunday, for later Sunday. You're looking at Sunday morning here, and that starts to move northward. And on the ensembles, The track of the low is the average track is right along the coast, and you've got more of the members now inland and than you do offshore. And I think this really verifies the fact that what we're going to be dealing with here, as far as the weekend storm is concerned, is it is going to be a bit of a powerhouse. It is going to be coming out of the deep south, but the main low is going to take a track probably definitely to the north and west of the coast. Now, it might not be as far west as the GFS has it, which is basically in north central Pennsylvania. And of course, you see it's a pretty much windswept soaking rain after a brief start of snow during Sunday afternoon and evening. You get a changeover to rain, and it's a windswept soaking rain Sunday night into early Monday until the low goes to your north and the front goes by. Even up into central New England, we're going to see a changeover to rain with this. That's how far west it's going to go. Now, it might not be as far west as the GFS has it, but the European is more along the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border. But the bottom line is that maybe you'll get a brief period of snow or sleet at the start along the coastal areas, and then it changes over to rain. And you really are going to have to go pretty far north and west of I-95, I think, in order to see any kind of significant accumulation. Central and western Pennsylvania, upstate, central and northern New York, north of Albany. I think even Albany may change to rain up at around I-90, and probably up into northern New England. Even Maine gets to change over to rain. So what's happened basically is the fact that the first low goes out instead of continuing on to the east and moving away and allowing a block to develop. And I'll show you on the Atlantic map here. We were supposed to have blocking, or at least some semblance of blocking. You can see the higher than normal pressure south of Greenland building into the Davis Strait, but instead the first storm weakens that upper high and forces it eastward, and that allows a strong ridge to develop just off the east coast, which means that the trough to the west sharpens up considerably, and you wind up with a low that tracks inland. The one thing I will say with regards to this storm, and I just want to at least give a heads up, because we do have folks that watch from all over, and the cold air on Saturday is going to wedge down into the Carolinas and into northern Georgia, and there'll be a strong, vigorous upper low, and that's going to produce snow, ice, and rain from northeastern Georgia on up through the Carolinas and into western Virginia. So that's something that we're going to take a closer look at in terms of trying to figure out the amounts. The track on the European is further east in this area, which would mean more snow, ice being further east, and then the low ultimately rides up the coast and passes, again, right along the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border, rides up the entire state border from south to north, and then the low winds up going into New England, and it turns colder and drier, much colder and drier for the first part of next week. So snow lovers, if you were looking for an all-snow event, particularly along the coastal plain, it ain't going to happen, not from what I'm seeing right now. Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. Joe and Joe show tonight at 7:30. We're going to try to get meteorologist Bill Goodman from the New York City / Long Island Weather Office in Upton, which is on Long Island. So he's going to try to come on, and also try to get retired meteorologists from the Mount Holly office in New Jersey. Meteorologist Tony Gigi will join us. So we'll be a foursome here with a Joe, a Bill, and a Tony, and that's live at 7:30 Eastern time. So be sure that you tune in for that. And